Wow, it says we're live. Let me see if we're live on.
I need to get rid of some glasses. I'm very bad.
You're fine. YouTube. Are we actually live? It says we're live.
Okay, yay.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I still don't have an intro for my channel yet. But as the thumbnail says, this is my February TBR / my Missy Elliott Readathon TBR. And so I can't do a Missy Elliott anything without Shay here because Shay is the creator. I'm going the wrong way because yeah.
Totally fine. Totally fine.
So we're basically going to talk about our TBRs and chat about the Readathon because this is year 3. Yay. So exciting. And you kind of switched it up this year a little bit.
Yeah. So, hey, Mina. So in year 3, we actually did less prompts. We did 6 prompts this year. We stuck with the 2 group reads, and we stuck with using an anthology so that people could get a chance to get introduced to more authors that way. I think that's something that we're probably, as much as we can, are going to keep that being a regular thing, like at least
really like
be in an anthology. Because I like getting introduced to new authors for sure. We have one co-host who's been down with me from the beginning, Deidra, and then we have Deidra who's coming back for her 2nd year with us. I'm like so appreciative to both of them. We are actually going to be doing our opening chat on Friday afternoon, evening. So everything will go up today. I'll be putting all the lives and everything up today so y'all can see that. So I'm super duper excited about that. All the prompts this year come from Missy Elliott's 2019 EP entitled Iconology. So if you go on YouTube and type that in, you can watch each video, and each song title is the name of a prompt, right? But then you can look at the visuals to see what we got, where we got the prompt from itself. And I just think that's just a fun way to engage with her content and engage with Missy Elliott as an artist. So I just encourage everybody to do that. But I appreciate you having me on your channel. Especially because you know how I am about Black History Month and supporting Black authors and reading Black authors. And I also appreciate you reaching out to me personally and being like, hey, is this okay to do? Do you feel like that? Like you're just such a respectful person, and I just appreciate that. And I just want to make sure that I'm shouting you out in that way.
Thank you.
Just thank you so much for that. So
thank you for always being my sounding board, even off the internet.
Oh, no, of course.
For like everything, how crazy my life is.
Man, life just be life sometimes. Like it's crazy. Yesterday was literally like the worst day of the year so far, and today I got out and I was skating and I was just like, I'm just at peace. And like to say that yesterday was the worst day and today I feel none of that weight. It's just a great place to be. It's just a great place to be. So and
it's okay to feel those feelings too. I feel like we beat ourselves up. We shouldn't be feeling this way. And
exactly. And I just let myself feel that way. It's like, no, yesterday sucked. And it's okay that yesterday sucked. But today didn't. Today has been pretty good. Now, I might have had 2.5 edibles, but that's fine too.
Hey!
Whatever got me to this peaceful place got me to this peaceful place.
No judgment.
There we go.
Yeah, yesterday. Me too. I don't know if it was because it was a full moon or what.
Was yesterday a full moon? Because it was horrible. I was like, what is going on? Is this something in the water? Like, why is everybody pissing me off? Like,
and everybody who normally doesn't get upset was like being very snappy yesterday. I'm like, what is up with everybody today?
I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna listen to an audiobook, and that's a lot of what I
tune everything out with an audiobook, or I listen. It's funny that you pick this EP because that's what I listen to when I work out.
I love it. That's
so I was like, yes.
It's such a good one.
I feel like it goes under the radar because it came out like right before COVID hit.
Right.
Like everybody forgets because everybody knows her hits from like the mid 2000s. Because
right, exactly.
That's what I used to get ready and go out dancing to.
And that's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to be different. I wanted to like highlight something that's not as well known, that we don't know as well. Like I only knew of 2 songs off of it.
Yeah.
And one of them I knew well, and the other one I only knew of. I hadn't really listened to. So to like get into it and actually engage with the EP was really fun. Like,
and I love that because I love like concept. They don't do it as much anymore, but concept albums.
Oh, concept albums and videos. Yeah, Missy Elliott has actually always been the queen of visuals. She's always been great with visuals. And that's why I keep highlighting that, like, they're based off the visuals so that I get people to go watch it and not just listen to it, because that's engaging with the content on multiple levels, because it shows her artistry in all different ways and what makes her so iconic in the first place, you know?
The first video I remember hers, I think it's I Can't Stand the Rain, by like where she's in the trash bag. And I was like, oh, like who has the balls to do that? Like that's awesome.
Man. When it comes to video concepts, her, Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, like in that era, like their video concepts were just
Busta Rhymes doesn't get enough
chef's kiss. Huh?
Busta Rhymes, I feel like, doesn't get enough credit.
Man,
I love that man.
Lyricism, like ability to ride the beat, like man.
And the amount of words he can get in a
wordplay
30-second period, I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
But if you're not following Shay, everything is downstairs. Everything, including the prompts for the Readathon. And I also put, if you don't mind, Shay, I also put the pre-order link for Lizelle's newest book.
Oh, that's totally awesome. Like I try to put that everywhere. I've been talking about it. I put it in my blog.
I pre-ordered it yesterday.
I got my pre-order in. I went and did my pre-order campaign stuff too. So I get my little free
little stuff.
And I don't be playing. I do not playing. I am so excited for this book. I'm excited to see where she went with this story, and I'm just fingers crossed that it gets to me earlier than the day that it comes out, because what I'm probably gonna do is do my first ever 24-hour read, like 24-hour. I'm just gonna like get it and just devour it. And just like that. Like I think that would just be fun to do, and it would be an extra video to get out for Black History Month. So I think that'll be what I do. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
There we go. I'm just pulling up the prompts so I don't mess anything up. Whoop. As my thing goes. So prompt 1 is Iconology. So you decided to make that a story written by an iconic Black author. So I kind of tweaked it a little bit because I love, as you know, I love romance. So I picked an iconic Black romance author, Beverly Jenkins.
I like it.
Who does not get enough credit at all when it comes to historical romance.
I feel that.
I feel like I learned more history in her romances than when I was in school. So this is book 1. And it's doing double duty. It's a book for the Who Picked This Book Club this month. So we will be discussing it on February 7th on Nicole's channel.
Yeah, that's the one you told me about today. And I was like, okay, let me write that one down.
So good.
Squeeze that one in. I definitely want to squeeze that one in.
And it's easier to get the audiobook because it is, I think this came out in 1996. It's so good. And I'm not sure where this would fit yet, but this is another book club read. I haven't read the blurb because I like to go into things not knowing much, but the next club for Who Picked This Book towards the end of the month, I believe the live show for this one is the 21st.
Okay.
Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton.
I've heard about that one.
And it's so pretty.
It is. It's really pretty.
Gorgeous. And
really...
it's mermaids. And she's an assassin mermaid from what I can hear. She's an assassin mermaid. I'm down. Like,
okay.
She kills people and she's a mermaid. I'm down.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Let's see. Prompt number 2.
Okay, was I supposed to show which ones I was
Yeah.
That one
Oh,
too?
sorry. Yeah, I'm new with this.
I was getting them ready and I wasn't sure, and I was like, okay. So, if y'all remember, I was supposed to be doing the Logan Family Saga vlog. And so Mildred D. Taylor is an iconic Black children's author. So I'm going to be reading The Land. Now, I have pretty much read the whole thing all the way up to here. But I want to do the reading vlog. So I'm going to just start all over again. So I have The Land. I have finally... Huh?
Is that book 2? Like after Roll My Thunder?
That's the no. So okay, so Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry was written well before this one.
Oh, okay.
Chronological order of the family. The Land is the first book, so I'm reading them in chronological order to tell the whole story. And this one was written like after I was already like moved on book wise, like I was done because like Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. I want to say those came out in like the 1970s, and this one came out like the 2000s. So
my mom said she had to read it in school. So.
Right, and this one came out in the 2000s, so it was like well after the fact.
It was a prequel.
Right, exactly. So I wanna read that. So that one. I finally got into The World We Make, and I've been reading it this month, but I'm not gonna finish it this month. And I'm like 60% through it. So N.K. Jemisin, The World We Make. That's my second iconic Black author. And then me and Miss Lady over here have a buddy read.
Yes, we do.
Eric Jerome Dickey, The Business of Lovers. I have never read an Eric Jerome Dickey book before. This will be my first ever Eric Jerome Dickey book. So I'm super excited to kind of get into his world. And honestly, deal with my own biases that I have had about his name and whatnot from what I heard in like high school and whatnot. So I'm super excited. So these are the 3 that I'm looking to knock off for that prompt.
And this would also work for the multiple POV prompt because there's like 4 or 5 POVs.
And so does The World We Make. The World We Make hits the multiple POVs as well.
A story is a genre mashup. Is prompt 2, which is Throw It Back, which that's my song.
Genre mashup.
Yeah, that's the song.
Yeah, I love Throw It Back. For me, I think I'm going with Delicious Monsters because it's a thriller and a horror.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be rereading that. I want to actually read it physically this time and like go through with my highlighter and whatnot because I like to do like an actual review video for it. So
yes, and it's actually going to be my first. I own all of Lozelle's work, but
right. I actually do.
It's my first.
I'm not like.
So I'm really excited.
Like actually, it is actually over there on the shelf. It's so pretty,
beautiful, and her covers are amazing.
Oh my gosh, so amazing! I can't wait to get Tender Beast. I'm so excited.
And I'm not sure if this will be a genre mashup, but I'm going to get to it this month. It's called Forging a Nightmare.
Oh my gosh, I'm reading that too. Look at us. Our Imagine TBRs.
By the way, we didn't talk about this.
I'm only 100
pages. The Eric Jerome Dickey book, and that was it.
Right.
I'm reading this.
I'm only 100 pages in, but I'm really liking it. Vina got this for me, and she recommended it to me. And then Deidra also recommended it to me. And I was like, okay. Well,
Dina basically sells this book. It seems like
y'all are really good at recommending me books. So far I like it. So I would love to finish that this month as well.
Yeah. And I was telling Vina earlier, because we were talking earlier, there's not enough horse girl fantasy because I used to ride horses competitively. And there's not enough.
Right.
For
I
their
just think there's
sanity.
not a lot of just equestrian storyline, period. That's part of why in Blankets and Burglary, what Sharice's therapy camp is an equestrian camp. Because I grew up riding horses. Like
So
that's
did I.
something I grew up doing. And while I didn't like, compete or anything like that, like it still was something I did every day. It's
Yeah.
still a form of therapy that I loved. And I was like, I want to kind of like educate people about this in story form. So
Yeah. And while I was also riding competitively, I volunteered at the organization that I was riding with because they worked with kids with special needs specifically. And I remember walking because I would lead walk one of the smaller horses for the young kids. And this one boy was I believe he had Down syndrome. He was the cutest thing ever. He was so tiny and he was adorable. And the one day, like, he was telling the horse what to do. And I look over and his mom's crying. And I said, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "That's the first time he's ever spoken."
oh wow.
And I was just like, it made me tear up. And I was just like, oh, like, people don't give enough credit to the help that animals can be during like therapy.
Right. Animals are amazing. Like I truly understand that. Like I knew that us having animals grew up was an important thing. And I knew that I was not gonna I knew I didn't understand how important, because I knew it meant way more to my grandmother than it meant to me as a kid.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older, I see why it meant so much to her. I see why she invested so much time and energy into that. Like, no, it definitely is.
It's very important. Yeah, we did. We had a really long conversation about therapy horses today. And
oh, that's wild. That's so funny.
The organization that I used to help out would also rehab horses. So we would get a lot of horses that were mistreated and stuff like that and train them to work with kids with special needs. Because you need to, for working with kids with special needs, they need to have a more calm temperament than the average horse.
Right. You definitely can't have a wild horse somebody then broke. That's definitely not gonna work.
Right. With a 2-year-old on the back.
Right.
And a creative main character for it's cool off for prompt 3. So I might be stretching it a little, but I've never read a Marlon James.
Okay.
And this is
on my list.
And he this book is a fictional retelling, from what I can gather, of the days leading up to Bob Marley's death and the last concert he performed at. Wow. So I don't know if I'm technically stretching the prompt.
That's interesting. So is Bob Marley the main character?
Yeah, and then there's certain chapters that are from like the FBI who worked for JFK.
Got you.
So like I don't know, but it's a historical fiction, I suppose.
Got you.
And I own a lot of Marlon James, but this will be my first. So I don't know if I'm technically stretching the prompt because the person is a real person, but
no, that's so the person being a real person is fine. Also, that's interesting because the One Love Bob Marley movie comes out, and
that's one reason I really want to read it because we're gonna
Day. So that's interesting.
We're gonna see it opening weekend because I grew up with Bob Marley, so Bob Marley has always had a special place in my heart.
Nice. So I can't say for sure anything that I know for a fact that I'll be reading that the main character is creative outside of Delicious Monsters.
That's what I was wondering because I don't know the specifics of
I know one of the main characters is a gardener, and then the other main character is like a videographer, podcaster. Like she's doing a Forgotten Black Girls like TV show, like web series type deal.
Okay. I'm really excited to read it.
That's definitely very creative. And again, that's a reread for me, but that's the one I know. Like I know I'm hitting the prompts, I getting the 2 group reads done.
Yeah.
So that's my home main. I got it.
Yeah. Right. I'm waiting.
Are just Black authors.
Yeah.
That I really want to read.
I should be getting Out There Screaming for my library in a couple of days.
I got Out There Screaming and These Sunken Souls. Those are the two anthologies that I'm gonna be reading for this.
That's awesome. And I was looking, it wouldn't work completely, but there was a Christmas anthology that I read, a Christmas themed horror short story from Tananarive in.
Oh wow! Okay,
but it wasn't all Black authors. It was all people of color. Like they had Stephen Graham Jones in
that's
in there.
Cool. But also, the prompt is a piece of short fiction, so just that story would work.
Yeah, and I also for another
anthology
option, I have what's the? It is by James Baldwin. The Fire Next Time.
Okay.
I have that for my library.
Nice. Okay.
And a friend bought me for Christmas. Have you ever seen the Library of America editions?
I don't think so. Excuse me.
These hardcover editions with the black cover, and they have a picture of the author, and there's 3 of them that have James Baldwin. So my friend found them at a used bookstore and bought them for me.
Oh wow, that's so awesome! I love that for you.
I love used bookstores.
Me too. I'm such a fan of used bookstores. Such a fan.
I went to one yesterday, and it was called the Book Lovers Warehouse, and it was run by this older retired lady, and I loved her. She was a trip.
When I go, I'm hoping to go to Kansas next month and see my grandfather, and I'm definitely hoping to like check out a few used bookstores around where he is.
Used bookstores are the best.
They are. They're like hidden gems for sure.
And I don't know if the musical would count for this, because I remember one of the characters, at least in the first one, was like a music producer in this. And I don't remember if she's in the second one.
Well, in the first one, there's one. She works at a gallery.
That's what it was.
She's an artist gallery in that form. And I'm going over like all my physical books, forgetting I have a whole Libby TBR, and those do fit because like one of the books that I'm reading is A Symphony of Secrets by Brendan Slocum. That was recommended to me by Deidra, and that's a dual POV, I believe, and one of the main characters is a jazz musician.
I love it. I was stuck between picking the 2 that I picked, and Vina got me for Christmas The Devil in the Blue Dress by Walter Mosley, but that'll probably be next month. That'll be March for my
up on that. Like I think I'm like on book 4 of the Easy Rollins series. I need to pick it back up and get back to reading it.
I've never read it, and I've read a piece of short fiction for Black Readathon with Walter Mosley, and I was really curious.
Nice. Yeah, I read the first Black Readathon I participated in. I read Devil in a Blue Dress.
And I didn't realize it was that small when it came. It was tiny.
Yeah, no, it's not a long book. Shout out to Bree for putting me on to Walter Mosley.
I love Bree.
I love Bree.
Your Readathon and her Readathon are basically the only 2 that I'm a part of every year.
I feel that. I like they're exciting. I like good, exciting Readathons.
And I will be hosting a Readathon in April.
Okay.
So
okay.
Something will come out at the end of March.
Okay, let me go ahead and keep that in mind. Okay.
End of March.
Let me find out.
And this is the only book that doesn't fit the Readathon, but I am going to start it because it's a thick one. And I have a discussion planned for the weekend of March 10th.
Okay.
Things by Ken Liu.
Okay, got you.
It's a thickie, so I just want to start it so I don't fall behind. Yeah. I'll be doing a discussion with my friend Roger Reeds, who, if you don't follow him, he's also linked down below.
Got you. Yeah, no, the 3 or the 4 that are in my Libby right now are All These Sunken Souls, the audiobook for The Land, because I do want to listen to that. Okay. Brendan Slocum's Symphony of Secrets, and then Out There Screaming, the other group read. And
I'm
then,
really excited for Out There Screaming.
And then outside of the ones right here, the only other one I want to read, the only other two I definitely want to read that I haven't mentioned anywhere outside of a blog post is I want to reread The Spook Who Sat by the Door, and I want to read The Conjure Man Dies for the first time. For Reading His Research, I want to read those again for a Reading His Research episode in February.
I love those Reading His Research episodes.
Ooh, is it on audiobook on Hoopla? Because on my library, it's only on ebook. So if it's on audiobook.
It's on ebook in my Hoopla, but it could be different somewhere else.
Right. Got you.
And I also have an audiobook of the Self-Same Metal by Brittany. What's her last name? Oh, I feel awful not knowing this. Brittany. Brittany N. Williams. Okay. And that would work for the multiple POV and back in time, because I think that takes place in the 1600s.
Okay, nice. Oh, and I forgot I am doing one more buddy read. I'm buddy reading Beasts of Prey with Ashley.
Ayana Gray.
Ayana Gray, Beasts of Prey. So I got that as well. And that is apparently the longest. They haven't recorded one. Okay, gotcha. That is apparently the longest audiobook that I have to listen to all month long.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to start The Grace of Kings, because it's like 27 hours long. I know. And I just wanted
that's a lot. Yeah, I thought 16 hours was a lot. 27 is a lot.
Yeah, this is like almost 700 pages, so I'm trying to divide it up so I don't feel overwhelmed.
Got you. I understand. You DNF Beast of Prey, but you know Britt loved it. Yeah, I'm curious. I wanted to wait till all 3 books came out before I started reading them, because I didn't want to have to like wait. So
I hate waiting.
Right. So now that I know the last one came out this month, I was like, okay, I'm willing to go ahead and try the first one and see what I think of it.
And I have another book club book. What is it called? It's not here yet. I ordered it, but it's not here yet. Orders. I want to make sure I get the name right. It is So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole.
I've seen that. I'm intrigued by that one. I want to know more about it. Because I'm curious if it's something I might like.
I will be reading it for Bonnie's book club.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I believe it fits one of the prompts.
I know that Bonnie said that she really liked I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast Is Me. And I finished it, and it actually ended up being better than I thought it was going to be. I actually liked it a lot more than Monstrous. Like, I really wish I would have pre-ordered I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast Is Me and not pre-ordered Monstrous. Because
the cover for I Feed Her to the Beast is gorgeous.
The cover for both books are amazing. Like, they are beautiful covers. But Monstrous, just I cannot.
Who is that by? Monstrous,
that one is by Jessica Lewis.
Okay.
Yeah. Say that to me. Hold on, let me go. It's on my shelf over here.
Is that a donation? Since you didn't like it too much?
Oh, did you buy it?
No, I haven't.
Buy it? Oh, actually.
Yeah, but I did buy this.
Oh, you talking about Monstrous?
Yeah.
If you want to read it, I'll send it to you. I think it's. I can't remember. I think it might be signed too.
What didn't you like about it, if you don't mind me asking?
So I felt like she was like obsessed with whiteness, and just like the whole point of the story was for her to be monstrous, and she just like chickened out about it, especially when it came to the white people. But like, I don't know, it was given idolizing whiteness, and it wasn't given idolizing whiteness in like a I can understand how this happened, and you deal with this fact, and you come to some kind of lesson about it. Like, that's why I said I preferred I feed her to the beast and the beast is me. Like, she might have started with a bunch of white people. By the end of the book, she was surrounded by black people. That's a transformation in a black YA book alone.
Was it like kind of like Creep, where like you didn't notice at first that it was all idolization, and then as you went along, you're like, oh, that's weird.
No, like it's like in the way that she describes the girl that she likes, in the way she describes, like it's just like, oh, you really like whiteness, like, you know, and it's just like
that always makes me feel uncomfortable, and then I feel weird being a white person bringing that up. I feel like that's not.
I can totally
understand. I'm just like,
I can totally understand.
It feels weird.
For me, the thing that kept me reading was the talking snake. I mean, I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, you had such a great concept, and I don't think you killed it with the book, especially if in this theme of black girls being able to be monstrous, being able to be vicious, and like she didn't even do it. Like, I just
wow.
Yeah.
Like, you and I seem to align on a lot of that.
She should have, like, she probably thought she was monstrous. I was like, that leaves something to be desired. So
yeah, there seems to be a lot of that. Like, what was the one that? What was that called? They made it into a show on Hulu.
Oh, the other black girl?
Yeah, that's it. I remember how much you were messaging me when you were reading it. You're like, I hate this.
This is insane. Like, the reread was like again, I will talk about the fact that was a good anti-hero, especially because the number of people was like, I did not expect that from Nella. What book were you reading? This was so on brand. I just could not bring myself to watch the television show. Like,
no. I looked at it for like 5 minutes and I'm like, no, this is going to make me mad.
Right. I couldn't do it.
I do want to check out the Black Cake adaptation, though.
I do. I want to read that before I do that.
Me too.
I want to read that and then I want to watch it. It looks good. The actor that's in it, the one that plays the son, I think, he's in this Amazon Prime horror show called Them that I want to go finish watching. But it was such a gut-wrenching visual experience that I was like, oh, I got to do this in like months time, an episode every month or something.
Yeah.
It just takes so much out of me. But it was just such good like cinematography and such good metaphors in the visuals and whatnot that I really liked it. So I would like to see him in something else, see how his acting is and something that's a little bit more upbeat than that. And it's set in the past, like it's set in the like great migration of people from the South to California.
Okay, I think I saw the commercial for that and I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list. And the other one that reminds me of that when you say like you needed to take a break in between was the Lovecraft Country TV show. Like, and it wasn't because anything was bothering me specifically, but like it was the one character dealt with so much depression that it was kind of just like you have to be in the right headspace before you read it or watch it. Kind of.
Yeah, I can understand that. I haven't seen it. It's one of the ones that I know I'm like, and I'm militant enough. Some stuff I don't need to watch.
Yeah.
Some stuff I don't need to watch. I don't wanna offend nobody. I don't wanna be mad at people. Some stuff I don't need to be reminded of. Some stuff I just don't need to be reminded of.
It's just really hard when they mainly focus on depression, and I'm just like, I have a really hard time watching stuff where they focus on a lot of mental health problems. Not because it's bad, but like it can bring like
no, it can be triggering.
About.
It can be triggering. It can be triggering if that's something that you personally battle with. I can totally understand that, especially if you weren't in the headspace to watch that, to receive that in the moment. I totally understand.
I remember watching it with my dad, and I'm like, nope.
No, I can get that.
Though I love the actor, like a lot of the actors that were in it.
Yeah. Right, girl, Vina. I was like, I don't know what book I was reading. This was on brand. She literally didn't do anything contrary. They were like, "What? You aren't using this nasty smelling grease? What? Huh?"
Just hearing about it, like, was like, that is beyond awful. Like, why would you make it that of all things?
The conversation about consent. Oh my God. Oh.
I remember watching, I think it was you and Deidra did a discussion on it, and I was like, I had my popcorn ready. I'm like, this is going to be a good one. Man. I know you were reading it.
Speaking of popcorn, now I kind of want some. Me too. I'm sorry, you said that now you just kind of want some popcorn. The show was so good. Okay, good. I've heard good things about it. So,
but I know a lot about because I've had like the black cake before, so I've always been curious about like the story behind it because I've never really got enough real answer from people that I'm like, what does this mean? What is this for? Because you know me, I'm just questions upon questions.
Right.
But yeah, it's a short TBR, and whatever comes in, comes in. Is there anything that is coming up for you, Shay, that you want to promote or anything?
I think I'm gonna be doing some sprints tonight for Death Note, just to get them in before we go to Black History Month, because you know I'm switching gears. We'll talk about
Death Note is so good though.
Right, but Death Note is really good, and I need to get some reading in on that. And then we'll be having the kickoff sprints for the Readathon on Saturday. On Friday on my channel. You'll see a bunch of sprints going up. That's why I can't read books that heavily feature hair by people who don't know nothing about hair. That part, Vina. So yeah, no, and I'm hoping to get back to my Twitch streams like in the morning, starting at 9 a.m. Central Time, sprinting for a little bit, and then going into painting and just chilling and words on stream. So if you're trying to get some work done in the morning and then just want to hang out, definitely come over there and check me out. But no, I'm just going to be chilling and vibing and trying to get some more books read. I am on track to have 7 books read for this month. So I'm trying to see how many I'll get through for February for sure.
You beat me. I've only gotten, but I've been reading thicker books, I think. That's what's thrown me off. I've only read 3 fully through so far.
Hey, no worries. Hey, and here's the truth. Here's the truth is I always do good in January and February. It's the rest of the...
See, that's the thing. I do really good from February on. January seems to be like my off month. I don't know why.
It's like I'm really good in January, February, November, and December.
It's so strange. Like I think because I read so many books last year that I was still kind of like burnt out when we started reading everything else for the rest of the year. I was like, I just finished 105 books. I'm done.
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
I'm done.
I totally get that. Hey, but those puzzle books definitely got me back into reading. So
they were so easy to read. I was like, Greg Lett was laughing at me. He's like, "Are you trying to start a fire?" Because I was moving I was turning the pages so fast. That Murder in the Family is still one of my top.
You know, that was really good. That
was so good. But for my channel, there will be a discussion on the 10th with the author P.L. Stewart. We're going to be discussing his second book in the Drowned Kingdom saga, The Last of the Atlanteans, on the 10th at 8 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. CT, and 5 p.m. PST. I'm just making sure I got the right time zones. But a bunch of my friends are also joining the conversation, so feel free to join. We do like the first half an hour as spoiler free as possible, but this is a book too, so just go in knowing that it is a book too, so you might get teensy tiny bit spoiled for book one. And as of right now, that's all I have planned. But thank you all for watching, and whoever's watching on the replay, I greatly appreciate you. And if you're not following Shay, what the hell are you doing? And if you're following me and not following Shay, what the hell are you doing? Everything is linked downstairs, even Shay's Twitch stream. And my friend Roger, who I'm doing the Dandelion Dynasty read along with, his stuff is linked downstairs too. So if you have any questions, if you didn't catch it live, please feel free to leave it in the comments. And if it's something I can't answer, I will forward it to Shay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.